Incredibly, as the piers move in an earthquake, the deck swings independently. It seemed yet again the engineers had tamed the earthquake. But their free-swinging solution might itself have created a problem.
So our bridge, thanks to its hammock pendulum principle, can move about independently of the Earth. Of course, if the earthquake gets really bad, at some point, there's the danger that the bridge itself is going to hit the piers that are there to support it. And that could be catastrophic.
The deck can swing freely, but if it swings too far in either direction, it would smash into one of the 4 thin arms of the piers. That's 75,000 tons of road hitting the concrete. A big moving mass, and it could destroy the bridge. The engineers couldn't allow it to happen. But once an object as big as the road deck starts moving, it takes something extraordinary to stop it. Enter the viscous damper, an ultra-powerful braking system.
To experience a viscous damper firsthand, I've devised a little experiment. Demonstration.
First, I'm going to show what happens with no brakes, no viscous damper.
That in front of me is a teeter-totter.
Basically, it's a giant seesaw. But this is no playground. And that is a mighty big drop at the other side.
And this, in my car, is a roll cage, just in case my confidence outstrips my skill. Right, all I'm going to do is drive up there.
It's my job to drive up it, past the pivot point, and then let gravity do its worst. Of course, the higher I go, the further I'm going to fall.
I'm not enjoying this at all.
The pivot point must be somewhere about here.
This is just horrible. I can't see a thing. I don't know where I'm going. At some point, I know something bad's going to happen. That much is guaranteed. I can smell clutch. Ooh. Ooh. That's not very hot.
For the purposes of this demonstration, what just happened to my car as it hit the tarmac is the equivalent of the free-swinging bridge deck violently hitting the pier that holds it up during an earthquake. If the deck swung hard enough, it could break the bridge. The engineers needed to slow the deck movement, and I need to stop the seesaw banging down so hard. We both need some brakes, which is where viscous damping comes in. It's a braking system where you use a liquid to resist movement. If you've ever tried to run in a swimming pool, you'll know all about the resistance water can create. This black box is going to be full of water, and there's also a fan in there, which will have to move through it, absorbing all the energy from the seesaw. It's a brake.
This is a viscous damper. It's basically a liquid, in this case, water, that slows the movement. Should give me a softer landing. Only one way to find out. Okay. Any minute now we should approach balance point.
Oh, this is lovely.
That really does work perfectly. What happens is the vertical motion of the teeter-totter, of the seesaw, is slowed down by the rotary motion
Of the fan inside the liquid.
essentially what it does is turn some of that energy, that kinetic energy, into heat inside the damper. It gives me a much, much softer landing, kind of to my car.
Viscous dampers are used all over the place to soften movement. These planes are coming in to land on an aircraft carrier in the middle of the ocean. They approach at over 200 kilometers an hour, but they can stop in such short distances thanks to viscous dampers that are attached to the catch wires stretched across the runway. And the bridge is fitted with its own incredible liquid safety system. These things that look like pistons are the viscous dampers, and they're just like my system, in principle. This footage shows the dampers being tested. Instead of a fan spinning in water, a piston has to move through oil, which is much thicker, more viscous, than water, so it offers much more resistance to movement. In infrared, you can see it heating up. So the liquid is turning all that kinetic energy, that movement, into heat. The viscous dampers on the bridge are the biggest in the world. Slinging the road deck like a hammock allows the bridge deck to move, and the viscous dampers stop it from moving too much so it doesn't hit the arms of the piers and shake itself to bits. The designers made this extraordinary bridge uniquely earthquake-proof, with unprecedented solutions. But all this flexibility created a further problem, because earthquakes aren't the only natural hazard in this region. Mother Nature has another trick up her sleeve.